I just walked out of the third movie this summer. And basically, like, I made a rule for myself that I don't see anything below an IMDb 7. And basically, mostly a 7.5. And that probably makes me a huge film nerd to most people. But when you see in as many movies and TV shows as I have, like I've probably seen more than 99.999999999% of people, you end up being like, I'm not gonna waste my fucking time with this. Because I was in a place of recovery for so long, I spent maybe a year in, like, basically in bed, like, fucked up from some of the experiences that I had. Super depressed, a lot of despair. And one of the ways that I learned to escape when I was younger was film. My dad was a Hollywood actor on the East Coast and trained under Stella Adler, who was one of the world's foremost teachers at the time. And he was very blessed to have worked with her. She's worked with many famous actors and actresses, and she is even attributed to some of the film cinema's most famous roles, where she helped foster the actor and grow them, from what I understand. Some of the things I noticed in the movie here with Brad Pitt, F1, was that his demeanor, you know, Brad Pitt was probably my favorite actor growing up. That, along with his co-star in Fight Club. That movie changed my life. And it was the philosophy behind it was so striking. And I really kind of thought that kind of film would help grow the culture and keep people humble. But what I notice is that we kind of lost sight of that stuff. You know, the things you own end up owning you. And so much of our culture has kind of ignored that kind of thing. You know, like, there's so much in Fight Club that speaks to the time and the period. And now it's like, how many years later, you know? That movie had a really powerful impact on me. Same with The Matrix. The Matrix leveled up, you know, and then Avatar, I feel, leveled up again in 2009 when that came out. And for me, it's like, I'm starting to notice things where it's like, I'll notice how good the film is gonna be within the first 30 seconds. I'll sense it. It's like, I'm gonna have to turn this off. It's very rare that you're gonna get a movie where they're gonna just lose it after the first 30 seconds. If they can keep you in and it's really good, then it's usually good throughout, which is something I felt was really interesting to notice. That the way the filmmaker puts it together is characteristic of the rest of the film. So it's like, for F1, what happened? Why was the movie not good? Well, first off, the writing is terrible. So they got to go back to the drawing board. They did it too quickly. They tried to put a blockbuster together and they face planted. They tried to do something that looked like Top Gun in the ad, or even in the music and in the marketing, and they made something look more like, it reminded me a little bit of Christopher Nolan's film, what was it called? The one where he did a movie with the war in Europe, and there was hardly any story around it. And what my dad ended up saying is like, no, it's better with it. Like, he's told me what I couldn't see what was missing. He's like, well, you need character. You need the character. You need a story. It's more compelling. Like, you can't just do basically like a screensaver, which is like, it's not compelling. You know, an art. You want to do an artistic film, and you're not thinking about the moviegoer. And today, I ended up blowing up on Twitter or X about a local restaurant that just was woke up, so to speak. And I think there's so much potential there, but you know, if someone doesn't say something, then we don't see it. And we don't see it because we can't see it because we didn't spend enough time thinking about what it is we're doing and how it's being received. And that's what marketing is about. It's about being empathetic to the experience, the user experience of the person that walks into the store. It's very difficult to see through that because we end up having our own ideas about what would be fun. It's like, I really want to do XYZ. I've always wanted to do it. I'm so passionate about it. And we do it, but it's not what people want because they don't want something eclectic with variety or this and this. They want kind of like to know what I'm going to get. So when I go to see Jurassic Park, and they're relying too heavily on CGI, and they're relying too heavily on being like the Class C kind of like horror flick that you're gonna go see, but it really sucks. Like this films are terrible, and it's making me not want to go to the theater. If anything, I want to see more independent films at the Varsity throughout the year. They should have 1 or 2 playing all the time. If anything, we should have a 24-hour cinema at the Independent Film Festival downtown, where they have that building there, because it's completely empty. You know, you should be able to walk in and catch a movie whenever you want. You don't necessarily even need someone to be monitoring that. You know, there might be a way to sit down and pop in for a film without even necessarily having anybody working potentially, right? Like, you know, when you walk by the Varsity, it's a really cool experience. Like, or excuse me, when you walk by, and especially when you're there watching a film, it's you know, it's in the trailers, it's all red lights, and it's from, you know, it's really old theater. I think it's from like the 30s or something like that. That's so cool. You know, this is something that's so, you know, just that little bit right there is so fun. It makes your experience so enjoyable. It's like, wow, this is really cool. This is something new. And so when you walk into a restaurant, you almost want that feeling too. You want to be seduced into it. And then there's something that's going to break that seduction, which is like, the menu, I can't really form myself around it. I can't really understand what type of food this is. I've never heard that before. I don't really know what kind of thing is going to be tasting better than the other. I don't really know if this is going to be good for me for lunch. What's the price point? We have to have a well-formed idea about what we want to do. No, but we do have to think more about what the person is going to be experiencing. And I say no because a restaurant will evolve. Sandwich did. Sandwich evolved. I saw them progress, and you know, Melissa and whoever whoever had been there along with her did an excellent job with this. Now you walk in and you know what you get. Right? There's no quote unquote foo-foo. There's no foo-foo. It's like she thought a lot about people in this. You see it immediately. There's got music in the outside, music there. She has, you walk in, it's a walk-up window, and that was a little hard for me. It's like, well, the window's always closed. Like, that's a little tough. Like, I feel like knocking on the window is a little rough for me. Like, I'd rather it be open, but I don't know, there's something there. It's like the window should be an open window when it's open rather than a closed one. I feel like the window needs to be bigger, but hey, that's, you know, I feel like, and yeah, I feel like I'm right about that. But aside from that, like the whole user experience is really, really good. Like, the menu is well thought out. It's really has a lot of punch to it. You get pulled into the names. You get pulled into the art behind it, and it's really clear. I know exactly what I'm getting, more or less. And when you go online, the pictures are really cool. They look really good. I did notice that I felt the grilled cheese didn't have enough salt. I like salted grilled cheese. I thought the tomato soup was good. You know, I wasn't, with the grilled cheese, it's like I wasn't really wowed. I feel like with grilled cheese, you really won't want to do it with white bread, especially if I'm going to be charged the way that I was. I want to see like a nice sourdough that has like a nice bit of butter, nice crust on it. And on the flat top, I feel like you can make a grilled cheese taste incredible, and I didn't really feel that, but it was nicely wrapped. Okay, they had pickle in there, and then I don't know whether they hooked up the chips, but I didn't ask for chips, but they gave it to me, and I was like, okay, cool. I'm not going to eat them, but that's kind of nice, you know. So overall, I thought sandwich was really incredible, and there's a reason why she was able to open up another one. Okay, like, you want to go for the big punch, like with most things marketing wise. You want to do the thing. It's like, well, why make it look like it's so, immense, or like, because that's what people want. It's like, oh wow, look how juicy, incredible this is. It's like, it's not vulgar, it's just volume. It's like, yeah. And I remember, I saw the other day, I was walking around Ashland, and I walked up some stairs, I saw some photos, and I was like, oh shit, like, this is a really cool photo of the Ashland Springs Hotel. And just by walking by, I'm like, man, they need a really big sign across it. That maybe it impacts even the the windows. Probably a bad idea. So that's why they put it on top. maybe that's why, I probably had some unconscious reference from that. But basically, it's like we need that again. Like there's a vibe in Ashland where it's like you drive through and it's like a little mini Vegas, and that's like a cool thing that we have here potentially. It's like, and so when you walk into a store, we want to think like something iconic. We want to think something that is characteristic of something that has a brand. When I think of Z Spice, I don't necessarily know what that means. When I think of sandwich, I know exactly what that is. Like, and then it's like this. There was a place that just shut down because their prices were way too high in the beginning, I think, and maybe there were other reasons for that too. But one of the things I really loved about the location that Z Spice is on is it's great. It's got great parking, it's right downtown, and it's a little romantic. You walk up and it's like, wow, like this is really sweet. I have to say for Z Spice, the just the vibe, I almost feel like I'm looking at it right now. It's like, this looks like a little, like, I don't know, you could really get away with kind of almost like a French style, like design, like, how you have the Shakespeare Festival is like that artistic design from like Europe. Like we could put that here, like white with X's with wood and some like light blue, some white. I feel like the color right now is really dark, doesn't really fit the Z Spice color. And then you could, I'm just looking at it, thinking about this, and clearly that's probably not the direction she wants to go. And I'm not trying to overstep. I'm just saying, like, I look at the menu, and then she tells me that she doesn't have any food left to serve me, and it's like, 1:30. It's like, oh, really? You ran out of toast? That's interesting. But it's like, I'm looking at it right now. It's got a great space. It's nice and cool inside. It's sexy. It's a great kitchen, and I love an open kitchen. Like, when I have a restaurant someday, at some point, I really want an open kitchen. This is a beautiful spot. And, she has flowers out that look like they're fresh flowers. I think that's incredible. What I really like too is like, she has chocolate. So what I felt that was hard for me is that when I think Z Spice, I have no idea what I'm walking into. And so if I walk in and I have no idea what the food is already, like, I'm not sure what's going on, I'm not necessarily drawn to the chocolates because I can't really see them very well. You have to basically think your customer is blind and drunk, and you want it to be super obvious about everything. And the chocolates are named after, it seems like what they're made of, but I can't tell. I thought it would be fun, like, make names for the chocolates. The case that it's in looks a little bit more clinical, and I love the flowers. I thought the espresso was quite nice in a challenging place to have coffee here in Southern Oregon, and especially in Ashland. But I thought it was really good. And yeah, I never really liked the patio. This isn't this deal here with the tarp. I feel like in Ashland we probably, I don't know who owns it, but it's like, it'd be nice if this tarp or if this space just looked different. It just doesn't work, quite frankly. I don't know whether it's for music. Like it seems very functional, let's say that. And the black is just bad. Like, this is just a very dark gray. It's not feminine, at least I felt that there's feminine energy in here. It's coffee, it's chocolate. I saw a photo that News put up online. Is beautiful. It had the toast and the eggs and some orange juice. It looks really nice. And so, but I just looked at the menu and it's like, well, maybe I just don't get it. Maybe I just don't get it. It's eclectic. And so the food looked great, but if it's an eclectic menu, like, I wanted to have lunch here the other day, and it's like, I'm not going to spend $26 for the lamb for lunch. Like, this is weird for me. Or I'm going to get the toast, or it's like, I'm having a hard time understanding what I'm getting. And it's nice to have the photo on Instagram to know what that is. It would be nice to see what the other items are, so it's not a surprise too. This is a really great location. We've been to the library quite a bit this year, and look, they have a massive patio here. Probably be nice. Looks like there's some fairy lights up here. Yeah, you know, it'd be nice to see how the food tastes, if they're able to order enough. And we'll see, right? Places like this have come and gone in ways that businesses lose money. And that's why, and I've lived here since the fucking mid 80s, and I'm kind of tired of seeing people leave money on the table, where it's like, you could have got me in for lunch the other day, and it's not because I don't like the menu, it's just because I don't understand what's going on, and I want to have to ask questions, and I don't know what the restaurant's about. Like Z-Spice, I don't know what that means. Why am I seeing chocolate? Why am I seeing lamb in the same freaking breath that I'm exploring? And then coffee, and then chai tea. And then there's like a bunch of different prices for the chai. So I feel like it's important, I feel, to dumb it down, like to really dumb it down, and to have, like, you know, I don't know what the vision is necessarily. Like, I saw a picture of the curry, I think it was chicken curry or maybe marsala. I'm a little unfamiliar with Indian dishes, but that looks spectacular. So clearly the chef and owner here has some true talent. And what you see here is an eye for aesthetic. And so, you know, the studies that I've done in marketing, it's like, see, you're crossing so many boundaries here. No, the boundaries that we're crossing as a town is we're leaving money on the table. We're having restaurants open that haven't maybe opened up a restaurant before, or are having a brand that they're not necessarily knowing what it is. And we need good brand identity, so that when I go into a taco store, I'm not being sold chocolate unless it's fucking mole or something like that, right? Like, it all works together. And maybe the chocolates do work together, I just don't understand it. But if I don't understand it, I feel like there's a problem there. And I'm starting to feel that more and more. I'm starting to feel a little bit more ingrained. And when I feel there's a problem, it's a problem. You know, the black building looks like the black tar, and the tarp looks terrible. Like, it can't look like a black truffle there, unless it's a chocolate place, right? And it's not to be mean, it's actually to put some ideas on the table, and it's not to control anyone. It's like, hey, these are some things that could change about this place. And I don't know what those changes are. I'm just saying, hey, maybe thinking about certain elements of the equation, about what you're wanting to pop out. And maybe you want to keep all that stuff, but maybe there's a way to make it come all together like a beautiful piece of art. And right now you just opened, and it seems like there's a lot of people coming through, and it looks like the food tastes spectacular. So that's fucking great, right? But what sucks is that I come in and I don't know what the hell is going on. I'm seeing lamb and chai tea and egg toast with, you know, it's like, and then I'm thrust into the chocolate world, or then I'm gonna get a coffee. It's like, my stomach's already wondering how I'm gonna get out of here. Like, I had to leave and go get a milkshake and come back because I was so fucking stressed out. It's a beautiful location. I hope that the food is as beautiful as the staff that works there. Cheers.